All that space, you done gave it to negativity. Just to jump right into it, like my mom and I were just talking, and the main thing is this. If you leave space for negative things to get in, it will be filled with negative space. What do I mean by that? Literally, if you have gaps in your mind of self-doubt or anything like that, it will be filled. Like if you have a lapse of faith, it will be filled by doubt, right? But people forget the devil is always working. And it's not even just in the sense of the devil himself, but it's also negative things always working, right? There's always two sides to every coin. Right? There's always two sides. There's never in the middle, maybe this. No, even the maybe this, maybe that is a form of doubt, is a form of lack of clarity. It's a form of misunderstanding. It's a form of confusion. So all of these things, like, see, people forget that the devil is always working. Like, I swear, the only reason he ain't win is because God is just so strong. You feel me? That's the only reason why. But this man stay working. Stay working. If you do not keep your mind straight, it will be filled. It will be filled. Like, what? God's love and grace, God's wisdom is a buffet. Fill up. Fill up. I cannot stress this enough. Literally fill up. Because if not, it will be filled with tomfoolery, with hate, with all these things. That's why, think about it, right? As we are finite with everything we have, like we have a finite amount of lifespan, we have a finite amount of space in our stomach, we have a finite amount of knowledge, and a finite amount of space in our hearts, right? Therefore, out of 100%, the question is, how much of that are you going to fill up with the good stuff? How much? And of course, this can pivot for different things, right? The amount of the people that are in your life. How many of those people are you going to, and for that capacity that you have to put people in your life, people that you constantly talk to, how many of them are going to be people that are good for you? Again, same thing with like, how you say, self-reassurance. Like, are you assuring yourself and have that confidence in yourself to the max? Because, for example, let's say you're 80% sure, right? Or 20 or 70% sure. That 20, 30% will be filled with doubt. And that's why you may hesitate a little bit before it. Because if you were 100% sure, it would just be instant, right? Same thing with loving and hating people. Like, if you were actually filled 100% up with love, 100% with love, I don't even know what that even looks like, except through Jesus and his actions, literally. But 100% up with love, where's the room for hate? Look at the amount of hate that is in the world. If you ever met a person with so much hate, they just hate everything. They just upset. They just blah. Throughout the whole day that they talking, the whole day, 24 hours, how much of that time was filled with the positive and good stuff? How much? A tenth, maybe, or less? Some people I've been around, I didn't hear one good thing. I'm like, damn, why are you always negative? I know you've heard this saying, why are you always negative? All that space, you done gave it to negativity. Why? I just realized too, I'm gonna leave this in. The more hand movements I do, the harder it is to cut. So I'm not even gonna cut nothing. Check this. If you give space for negativity, it will be filled. It will be filled. You're always doubting yourself. You have that friend that always questions you and stuff like that. Given that what their question, what's it called? The questioning things that will help you progress. Like, oh, you shouldn't do that and stuff like that. Basically, their questioning is not beneficial. Cut it. Why are you giving them space? That's why they say, why are you wasting time on people? Why are you giving energy to things like this? Why are you even giving acknowledgement to these things, right? And that's the beauty of it. Because once you realize that you have to acknowledge something for something to take place in your life, right? Of course, not everything's in your control. God forbid somebody lost their life, right? For example. But besides the things that are in your control, why are you giving space to things that do not benefit you? I'm also preaching to myself, as you can tell. Preaching to myself, right? It's a lifelong journey, but hopefully we can shorten that learning curve, right? To be better. That's the whole point of us sharing information, is to shorten the learning curve, right? So, but besides that, like, literally, why are you giving space? to people that do not benefit you, things that do not benefit you, emotions that do not benefit you. Focus on the good, because the more you focus on it, the more energy you give it. Hence why being negative is a very bad cycle. Hence why you can also take that cycle and also be positive. The thing is about humans, we automatically look for the bad stuff, the danger in situations. Hence why we focus on negativity so much. That's why gossip spreads better than it takes truth, right? That's why they say what's it called? Like one lie is going to take 1,000 truths to like flip it or something like that. So it's like, you get the point of today's video, right? Give energy to things that actually benefit you. If you don't, it will be filled with things that don't benefit you. It's one or the other. There's no in between. Maybe I can just reserve that space. Reserve the space for what? Reserve the space for what? Even reserving the spaces, are you doubting that? What are you reserving the space for? God, like, bro, what you? Of course, let's say you're in transition period. You're in transition period, right? Let's say you have a bunch of habits, things you used to do, and a lot of them are bad. You can get rid of those, right? And then that space is not in the sense of, let me just wait and see. No, that space is, what can I then replace my time with, right? Or what can I replace that habit with, right? Allows you to, again, you're focusing on good, productive things. Good and productive. That's what we like. Good, productive things. So, like I said, devil is always working. Your mind is always working. God is always working. Focus on the good. Because I'm just going to, there's literally no justified reason for you to focus on the bad. It does not benefit you. Even though it may feel nice, it does not benefit you. That's why gossip feels good. That's why negativity is comforting. Sadness is comforting. Laziness is comforting. Break it. Break it. Literally, snap it, break it.